Margaret.
Okay, thanks for doing it.
Hi.
Is anybody on?
Margaret.
Hi, Margaret.
You got my charger out.
Hi.
Can you make sure that these dogs don't knock over
I
any
can't make sure shit with those dogs.
What, no Rainier today?
I know. I decided to give her some wine.
Oh,
I made some soup and. Oh shit!
that's okay. It's a Scotch day, I felt like today for me. It was pouring a little while ago.
I know.
I lost my TV and everything.
Okay. Is it pouring
Here
now?
it comes again.
Yeah. Who that? Steve? I'm gonna try to put my phone together.
The best place to plug it in is behind.
Hi, Steven.
I have another speaker. I'm gonna try to hook it up here.
Why did you have to do that? You turned off the timer for my plant light. It's okay.
Let's see.
Oh, it really is raining.
Can anybody hear me?
Yep.
Thank you.
It's really pouring out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a work phone call.
Oh, that's okay.
He called me like 4 times, so I tried to tell him. Well, hello, Drew.
Hey.
Hi, Thea. Hi, Christine. Hi, Steven. Can you plug this? Oh, hi, Susan.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Katie. Is that a charger anymore?
doesn't help.
I got the flyer today. It looks great.
Oh, did you?
I got 2 of them.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's on the mailman, I suppose.
Well, it's a little behind.
Just in time to announce the meeting today on the back.
Yeah, just in time. Hi, Andrew. Andrew Martin?
True.
Drew.
Or no.
Andrew?
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Hi, welcome.
thanks.
We'll give it a few more minutes for people to meander in.
I do not control that dog.
I'm gonna pour some more wine on that. Cheers, everyone. Welcome.
Cheers.
Hi, Margaret.
Hi there.
Oops, sorry. You started it. Shh, shh, shh. Tucker, Tucker, come here. Tuck, come. Come. Pardon me.
No, they're not going to stay good. This is what they do.
Very unruly dog. Well, I hope to have Danny Kime, a gentleman who I had spoken with previously about fiber for our network. Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, 2 things. Hey, you two go downstairs.
They're tired of being inside also.
Go. Now, go. You too. You too. Go fight downstairs.
Today's not such a bad day to be inside.
No, it's so shitty out.
So
Sorry,
awful out there.
that little dog, he just keeps growing up on the bigger dog. Sorry. So Danny, I don't think he's in here, was going to talk to us about that. And I asked Mark Fromeyer, someone who maybe fiber would benefit directly if he wanted to listen in on the conversation. So
Oh, that's what Mark was talking about.
yeah, hopefully either or both of them will chime in a little bit.
Mark hit me up. He said he probably wasn't. He was gonna have to not make it
Ooh.
tonight.
Okay, so maybe Mark's not going to make it, but what I wanted to do is have, you know, somebody give me a little clarification on possibly the need or like who would it benefit in our neighborhood. So maybe neither one of them are showing up. But I guess we could get going. Is there any open comment? Anyone has anything they would like to say or express or question or wonder? Stephen.
My weekly report, the hand washing station is still about 200 yards away from the porta potties at the north end of Polk.
Okay. Hopefully, and I don't see Brad on here.
That's right, Brad was going to take that up with somebody, yeah.
Okay.
I just texted him to see if he was coming.
Okay. I was hoping, oh wow, it's really raining. I was hoping Brad would have a little information. But maybe what we could do, Stephen, is if Brad's not able to make it tonight, we could send you a message about what the outcome of his conversation. hopefully with someone from the city.
I hope Brad is okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Tonight, it seems like one of those nights everybody just wants to relax and hunker down, make some soup.
He and Susan seem to take their morning walk while normal people are still in bed.
Did anyone have anything else? Well, a lively bunch tonight, I see. Thea, any reports from you?
No, I just got the 2 letters that Ian wrote up to go to businesses.
Mhm.
And I had asked him, as a business owner, you don't have time to read a bunch. Is there a way to combine it? But I guess he's got 2 letters going, so I'll talk to him later.
Okay.
And
I didn't have very much going on citywide. I had reached out, like I said, to Cheryl from the mission, and also another contact I have for the mission. I haven't gotten anything back. I'll check my email again. But I just wanted to include them in some of our conversations, ask how we could help, see if there's like some need that needs to be met, you know, through resources that maybe we could combine so we're not all doing the same thing. But I'll let you know. I don't have anything to report today, unfortunately, prior to the meeting. But was there some other items that?
Ian had something.
Yeah,
to
he
share.
had a couple updates.
and
Go ahead.
Chris, our governor will be speaking tomorrow on her opening up plan. I do know that. I was in a meeting earlier today with some people.
Okay.
So we'll find out more.
Do you know what time that is?
I don't know what time.
Oh, that's smart. Hi, Mark. You on mute.
How's it going, everybody?
Good. Nice to see you.
Likewise.
I was filling everyone in that I had specifically asked you to come to this meeting if you had time, because we were, and hopefully Danny Kime is going to remember to be at this meeting. But I was just saying that you, of all people, would, one, be able to give us the skinny on how potentially fiber would benefit our neighborhood.
Well, I think, faster downloads and uploads and better connectivity primarily.
And it seems like now, I mean, look at how we're all connecting. It would probably benefit everybody. I mean, possibly along with some form of free Wi-Fi. I don't know how.
Well, I mean, if we could do like Whitaker Wireless coverage and get fiber access points all over the neighborhood, that'd be awesome.
That would be something we could ask for. I mean, there's got to be a way that we could do it. I just think it's essential for people to stay connected. And I didn't know what fiber would do, but I do know what free Wi-Fi would do. So, but unfortunately, I don't see Danny in our queue as of yet. But I was just opening it up, Mark, just in case you had any statements from, the perspective of where you're at or just a community member.
I mean, I'd be fully supportive. I think the other thing is if we could get really high bandwidth to the neighborhood and then ditch Comcast individually, it could save everybody money and get better service and kind of all the above. Or whatever internet provider you might have. But, I mean, mine is not particularly fantastic service and in terms of speed, and it's expensive. Yeah.
Would it benefit your business, do you think?
Well, we're already on the fiber ring.
You are on the fiber. Okay.
Yeah. I think we're with Access Media.
So it just goes right on the outskirts of the WIC. It just needs to be brought in. Yeah, that I didn't know.
So
I think it goes right down second.
So what parts of Eugene have fiber and who doesn't? Like, I would assume downtown has fiber, right?
Yeah, downtown's got great internet. They're like right on the backbone.
Interesting.
Hmm.
So who funds something like that?
You know,
Downtown was funded with urban renewal funds. I know that. So part of the reason that they have it and nobody else does really is the city dedicated urban renewal funding, which is pretty limited in where that money can be spent because it's based on taxes generated essentially downtown by property value change.
Interesting.
So yeah, even though Danny's not here, I wonder how we would be able to fund everyone being connected in the Whitaker. I think that would probably be a good question. I mean, other than individual subscriptions per month, what would the cost of the infrastructure be?
Quite a bit. So I just know this because I manage capital projects sometimes at LTD. And we put fiber in on MX lines, and I can kind of look up the cost, but the major cost, right, is you have to put it under the street. So if the city started doing it whenever they had to reconstruct streets, that's a cheaper way. A lot of cities are moving to doing that. I mean, frankly, there's a lot of fiber out there. Some of it's potentially privately owned. You can't tap into it at your house. But like I said, LTD has fiber running all the way out West 11th. It's not public, and that's probably a good thing. But I mean, lots of people have fiber in the area.
hey guys, I just invited Matt Sayre, who runs Onward Eugene, and he was heavily involved in getting fiber to downtown, and he's up for popping in for 5 minutes to just explain that if you guys are interested.
Yeah, that's really cool. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, no worries. He should join here shortly. The miracle of Zoom. You can just be like, hey, what's up, person? Be on the other side of the planet. We'd never know.
All right, Matt's there. And then
Margaret's in San Francisco.
Margaret is her background.
Matt, thank you, sir.
Hey, friends.
Hi, Matt. Welcome.
How are you guys?
Good, good. We are the Whitaker Community Council, and Mark just filled us in that you have some super useful information in regards to fiber.
Sure. What would you like to know?
Well, one, I mean, my first question is, how do we afford the infrastructure to bring it residentially through the Whitaker, do you think? I mean,
Yeah, so not all fiber is created equal. Some of it is owned by private sector entities, and you know, they monetize that, and you buy it from a retail provider like Comcast. There's other fiber. Some of it goes to the Whitaker already. It's just not widely distributed. So I know that, for example, there's fiber that's owned by UWeb, so that is to say publicly owned fiber, and it goes down, Mark, what's the street that Taco Boar's on?
Blair.
Yeah, so it goes down Blair. This is from memory, and there are maps for such things. So the way it works is the public owns the fiber, and then to the extent that it goes to a residence, right, you can pick your internet service provider. So it's a completely different model than the way it has historically worked. It's really analogous, like if you think about shipping, right? Like you can pick FedEx, you can pick UPS, you can pick USPS, but they all drive on the same highway, and the public owns the highway. So it's that sort of model, what they call open access as it relates to internet, which would potentially bring publicly owned fiber to the Whitaker neighborhood. Maybe just a quick segue. In October of last year, the Eugene City Council got a report from the Downtown Fiber Project, which wrapped up. You may have heard of it. It's called UGNet. And at the conclusion of that project, Eugene City Council asked city staff to come back with a proposal that would bring fiber to every home in Eugene. So what you guys are talking about here is reminiscent of what City Council had asked for back in late October. And I think we've all learned that under current times, the internet is more important than it's ever been to keeping us all connected.
I agree, 100%. Especially if we find a way to provide free wireless throughout the Whitaker too, I think would allow certain populations access to, I think, what we take for granted at home. Because
It'd be awesome if the unhoused had access to free Wi-Fi. You know, for everyone who's down here in the neighborhood, that would be a huge leg up.
Yeah, I would just say that those things are not mutually exclusive. They go together. They go hand in hand. To bring Wi-Fi to the neighborhood, you have to backhaul it, and so you could backhaul it on the fiber, and then you can distribute Wi-Fi in a public form. They do that in downtown now through the park blocks near the library and those types of things. It's offered for free to the public.
This is something that I think.
Hey guys, let my dog out. I'll be right back.
All right, thank you, Matt. I like this background too. Mark, that's really cool. Thank you very much for bringing him in. And I apologize. I was hoping that I would have Danny on here to give us kind of a skinny on what he ran down with me, but it sounds like something what Matt was talking about. There is going to be a company that's going to be utilizing, I guess, subscription service. So, but I think what Matt was saying is we already have fiber running down Blair. We could potentially have free Wi-Fi for the Whitaker already. I wonder if this is a involvement of bringing Claire into this conversation. If she wins the election, you know, who knows? It's up in the air now for our ward, but she is the incumbent.
Well, so, in her term, I mean, the terms run through the end of the year in any case.
Yeah. So I don't know. Did anyone have anything else about the fiber that we were talking about, or any other questions that potentially, I don't know, I could get answered that I don't have answered right now?
I have a question, but not about Wi-Fi.
Sure, go ahead.
I haven't come to meetings for a bit during the pandemic, but I'm wondering if you've all had any conversation about making strong suggestions for local businesses around practices for the virus, health practices, meaning restaurants that are in our neighborhood,
right?
Suggesting strongly that they follow rules about masks and clients, that kind of thing. Have you had conversations or thought about that?
Yes, but no, Susan, we haven't, and that's a really, really good segue into protecting our neighborhood. Just recently, along with that, I have noticed we do have a lot of to-go orders of people coming into the neighborhood that aren't wearing masks and aren't utilizing a social distance. Matt, if we're boring you, I understand if you want to peace out. Just in case.
I have an asset that would be helpful to you guys. I think that's
Please.
Brand new as of today. It's the Eugene Guide for businesses, and it's meant to be very consumer friendly, and it is blessed by the county health authority and is something that can be printed out and by small businesses and others, and it's has consistent guidelines from the state to the county health authority and then down to the city. And those just came out today. It's PDF. I'll put looks like you do have chat. I'll put a link there.
Is that the guide that the chamber just put out, Matt?
Yep.
Okay, so that was nice. Beat me to it. Hey, thanks for inviting me here, Chris, and happy to stay in the loop on the fiber conversation.
All right.
And I think it's awesome you guys are charging down that road. If I can be helpful, let me know.
Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
You too, Matt. Thanks for jumping in, man.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat, and then I'll peace out.
Thank you, Matt.
Carry on.
Thank you, Matt.
So Susan, back to what you're saying. I think that was awesome for Matt to be able to give us this resource. I have no problem giving this resource out coupled with the letter that supposedly we're going to be giving out to the businesses at a certain time. But is everyone okay with starting a conversation? It's not on our topic list, but about what Susan's saying, because it is important. Unless someone has an objection, and please forgive me for going off a little stray. We have a huge takeout resource in the Whitaker alone. Like on Blair, right down my street, I have 2 food carts. I'm on 3rd, and then I have Meiji on the left. I would say that I have seen probably up until a week and a half ago, like a really good, robust social distancing, utilization of masks, people being, observant. Recently, in the past week, it's not like that at all. It's exactly the same way that it has always been. You have people going into businesses without masks. But that's the other thing too, is I don't know if we could force businesses to put the mask rule. You know what I mean? If it's not something that I'm just having a tough time with it, because I do have respect. I'm sorry, Margaret. Go ahead.
We could force businesses to wear masks for their employees, but only they make the choice about whether you wear a mask to go in being a patron.
Right. Well, like Thea, I think maybe you've made masks for people that have worked at one of the local businesses, and not all of them are wearing them. Is that correct? Or
they're now wearing them.
They're not. Well, and that's a large local business too. That sells
I
food,
made masks for Red Apple. I made masks for Red Apple and for Bimart employees. But I don't know if all Red Apple employees are wearing them.
Pretty much.
The
owners were wearing them the other day.
Yeah, I did see that.
In there,
you know what? They are, Drew.
I mean, now granted, I'm not in there 24/7, but I mean, I go down there probably twice a week just to pick up little things, and they're always wearing masks.
You know what we can do is, I'm sorry, go ahead, Chris.
So I'm new, as you guys know, to the WIT, so I'm still finding out where everything is and everyone is. I was in a new place, grocery store for me yesterday, and the employee was not wearing a mask. There isn't anything up, a partition of any sort. And what sounded like a regular customer was speaking to the cashier about, what are you guys going to be doing about this? So I don't know how that's going to be coming about, what we can do about it. I did notice the decrease in the amount of masks, but it also seems to coincide with the disinformation campaign that's been coming out in the last week and a half. So it's going to be an ongoing battle, in my opinion, especially working in the medical field, that we have to battle the misinformation as well as trying to get people to do something they're not comfortable with.
What if we came out with our own statement? Susan, would that be something?
I don't know what your letter is that you referred to, but that was what I was thinking, is not that we're demanding it, but that we're saying we strongly hope that as a business, the Whitaker Council supports something like that. Seemed like what I was wondering about, to weigh in as a body on what we
Yeah.
advocate for the safety of our neighborhood.
Hey, Thea,
Mm-hmm.
would you be able to assist in writing a letter?
Uh-huh, we could add it to the other.
That's what I'm thinking. Since we haven't sent that other letter out, and Susan, the other letter that we're talking, Thea, do you have a digital copy of it that you can put in?
I do. He
Susan,
just
so
sent it
Susan
to
knows
me.
what we're talking about, and if
Yeah,
anyone
and,
wants to
you know-
know what we're talking about.
And I'm not comfortable with the letter, just so you know.
Okay.
But I can bring it up.
Well, and that's great. I think that it. I'm glad you.
It's been giving me nightmares, Chris.
I know.
I know what's going to happen.
Wow.
I know.
It's scary. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
Christy, go ahead.
Well, would it be possible to also soften it with the premise of if you don't have access to masks, the council could help get you access to masks for your employees? You know what I mean? Where there's
So we provide a resource for them?
We're trying to help say we would provide a resource for you, but we strongly would like to see this happening in our community. How can we help you do that?
That's a good idea.
And which letter would you like? You want the one to the mayor or the one to the businesses?
How about both?
Which one
Then
first?
everyone can check them out.
Which one first?
Your choice. So these will appear in the comments, and then you can just go off of there.
I'm going to actually.
Chris, oh, sorry, I have something to say in my little funny figure here. Hi. I have a friend who asked at Gray's the other day, Gray's Garden Center, if employees could wear masks, and she was really dissed very rudely by the manager, who said, you know, if you don't like it, you can shop somewhere else.
Whoa.
It's a really sensitive subject for a lot of people.
And it should.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, science doesn't mean anything, everyone. Forget it.
Wow.
I don't know. We all have our opinions. I just think for the safety of those that are vulnerable in our neighborhood, it's out of respect. You know, I mean,
So maybe.
damn, that's pretty crazy. You could shop somewhere. Grace is a huge business in our neighborhood too.
Yeah.
I just went there on Sunday,
I think it
Saturday.
makes a difference where they're getting their news also, in terms of the kind of reaction we're getting from them.
100%. Yeah. Is everyone able to access the information?
I'm working on getting it up there.
Oh, okay. I'm not hurrying you. I'm sorry.
I was trying
Annika
to do share screen.
Annika, will you share screen?
No, she's already.
Yeah, but it's giant.
Oh my God. You don't understand
I'm-
what's going on. I don't.
Be nice.
No.
Oh, you can't be seen.
This is what.
Okay. How's that, Thea?
I hit share screen and I'm not getting it, so I want to see what I'm doing.
Can everyone else see or no?
I can see half of it. I can't see the bottom.
Okay, well, let me, oh, you can see it. Okay, let me make it big.
I can see it, but not the whole thing. I accidentally drew on it.
I like that. Let me make it
Sorry.
bigger.
I put it.
I didn't know
here
you
on
could see it. All I
accidentally.
could see was your faces.
You're right, it's really long.
Yeah, it's really long. And this is the what they're, and this is only one of them.
So I think this is, I can't look at it and say, I think this is a great opportunity for us to, I don't know, take a look at this. We did have some feedback on these letters and there's a lot of work done, but it is nice that we have a few more eyes to take a peek at it. But
Is it big enough for everyone to read?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. But I think along with that would be potentially a good opportunity for us to send the other letter about how we feel about how many people are going to come into this neighborhood. I mean, I personally have been thinking about this a lot since, I mean, I don't think we're going to be able to have the block party this year. You know, I mean, the audacity to think that I would be able to have an event in this neighborhood and draw thousands of people here to jeopardize the health of everyone is preposterous. You know,
Scary.
I mean, it's freaking preposterous right now. It's like, I mean, what is it worth? You know, what are our lives worth? You know, I don't know. It's worth a lot more to me. So, but yeah.
Well, Art in the Vineyard has been canceled, Chris.
I know, it sucks. I mean, and I'm not going to say anything. If we ever do this year a Whitaker block party, it'll be for only the people that live in the Whitaker, and no one else will know. But I don't know anything. So if anyone wanted to take a look at these letters, maybe send Thea and Ian back some feedback. I think are you doing the final editing?
When you guys are ready, yes.
Okay, so
But
send
I needed
Thea.
to have a conversation with you guys because some of it I'm not comfortable with.
Okay, well,
I'm happy to edit whatever.
do you want to highlight what you're not happy with right now, or do you want to do that at a later date? I'm not putting you on the spot.
I just think neighbors and businesses should be talked to before you send a letter off to the city.
I
don't
agree.
think you should approach the city before you talk to your businesses and your neighbors for what you're thinking about doing. Because it affects them directly.
So that I can see them while I'm talking about. I'm sorry. I agree.
I would be in contact with the businesses, all of them.
So what you're thinking is we should take a look at the affected addresses and businesses and send them a copy of this letter prior to sending it to the city?
Yeah, and say, are you even willing? Because there are going to be people that are going to say absolutely not.
Okay.
I agree with that 100%.
Margaret, that's what you agree?
I agree that we should contact the people that live here that this letter is going to affect. That's what I said originally.
Yeah.
When we talked about the Scobert Park, I said, are we going to talk to the people that live by Scobert Park?
Yes.
How they feel about, you know, putting a homeless camp in there, basically. And, you know, who's going to man it? Who's going to make sure that it's structured and all of that. And then I missed a meeting, and I think I missed some of that, and I think Whitebird got involved, but I don't even know.
Well, and they aren't exactly. And yeah.
Right. Ian said that he had reached out to them, but no one ever answered. So in a way, we're putting the cart before the horse.
And that's what I was trying to tell Ian.
What's that?
That's what I was trying to tell Ian. I said,
Yeah,
for years, the people of Scobert Park have said, we don't want this. And that needs to be respected.
It's true. We are being bold. You know, I do agree. I do think that some of these sites are a little uncomfortable, but the back of Scobert Park, I think it's public land that's not being used. And if we found a way to make it viable, I think having the neighbors, having the neighbors support would be essential. Because if not, you know what would happen.
Susan, I have your back.
I think Susan agrees. That's a wonderful spot.
I like my buffer zone.
I
It's not mine, but I like my buffer zone between my backyard and Scobert Park. Yeah. I would say, well, I doubt that that people on either side of me are gonna go for that.
No. And you know what we're trying to do is we're not trying to have like homeless camps or this, that, and the other. If you read in the letter, we're looking for sanitary housing. Stop doing it. Please. Oh my God.
Okay.
Susan, they were talking about, originally it was tents and then car camping and then Conestogas.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah, no.
If we bring tent and car camping openly, our past experience with the porta potties is build it and they will come. So the Conestogas, the police department has been working with St. Vinny's and putting them at businesses, and businesses have had less break-ins when there's 1 or 2 Conestogas.
Yeah.
You don't go beyond that. And so that's what the whole point was, to approach businesses and places to say, hey, would you like to have 1 or 2, kind of like a camp host idea where you kind of monitor it.
Well, remember when we were so against, or I was so against that, saying the same thing. I mean, I remember in our parking lot, everyone wanted to have a camp host that lived in there. And I was like, no, it'll just bring more campers. Now, I mean, we have campers everywhere. What I'm trying to do is find a way to make a few people neighbors and not just people that are living in tents in our neighborhood. Like, there are people that want to be neighbors, that want to, I mean, this is a wonderful experience we have here, but it takes a little bit of work. I'm not trying to house a lot of people together. And like I was saying to Thea and Brad and Ian, is 3 people, 3 Conestogas. That's it. But with those 3, we would find a way for them to have showers, to go do their laundry, and find a place to cook. You know, it's not like we're going to send these people out on an island and make them fail. Like, we understand what it takes to survive. You have to be able to go to the bathroom. You have to find a place to wash yourself, and you have to find a place to cook. Right now, more than ever, I think people are having a tough time finding water because they can't go into restaurants anymore, finding a place to go to the bathroom because restaurants won't allow people to go in, and to take a shower because the Y and all the gyms are closed. So we have like a huge need for people right in our community right now who are living in tents, who have no services, you know? I mean, and then we have the porta potties that aren't disinfected. Fecal matter is a COVID, you know, fact. I mean, this is what I'm saying. I can't fix everything, or we can't fix everything, but 3 people in certain places would be such a huge success for our community. I mean, it would allow us to do something with some resource that we have that's publicly owned. And I thought, not just Scober Park, and Scober Park is not like huge on my list, but other places in our neighborhood that, you know, we put, I mean, even the mall, the backside of the mall, we just have so many, you know, vacant and less.
Well, luckily, or unfortunately, that's not in our neighborhood.
It's not. But, so take a look at the letter. Also, if there is opposition to the letter, we would love to hear it. It's not that we want to sell the neighborhood on the Whitaker becoming a homeless camp, but I just kept thinking every time we talk about things, we're wanting to further, you know, the advancement of, you know, the houseless community here. Yet, other than the mission, we physically haven't done anything. So I want us to be able to do something. And
I have a question.
Go ahead, Margaret.
Well, wouldn't it make sense before we put a letter together, and before we talk about giving this to the mayor, and before we mention Whitebird and community supported shelters and all that, that we actually make sure it's appropriate to put them in a letter from us?
Yeah,
That's
I
what I
agree.
was trying
You
to-
see what I mean? I mean, I'm all for, they're clearly doing a lot of work with the Conestoga huts and with putting people in them that are ready to go and that want to be responsible, that need the help. But it would make sense to me that we know that we as a community have the support of Whitebird, and they're willing to take on a little extra. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I was trying to say, Margaret, is this is the cart before the horse. You really need to talk to your neighbors, your business owners, and say, is this something you want to sponsor? I can show you the other letter if you want to see that one that was going to go to the businesses, and he was going to put them together.
Yeah. Please. Thank you very much, Thea. And Margaret, yes, 100%.
I mean, that's something I can help with.
Yeah, I'm glad. And the thing is, I just think we're being super bold, 1. And 2, we are putting the cart before the horse because we're also trying to play catch up. Like right now, I think with some of our contacts, such as Eric with community supported shelters, he would hopefully, I mean, I'm not speaking for him, be able to get these built. you know. And then with Whitebird, we're thinking, since they're going to have that resource center already in the neighborhood, we could work with them. So you're exactly right. We need to make things a little more concrete.
All we need to do is reach out and ask them.
Oh, and we have. I just don't think that we have all of the confirmations back, and we don't have the outreach to the businesses and the homeowners that would be affected by what we're proposing.
And St. Vinny's has been running the Conestogas with EPD as well. And one of the things is that we've got a bunch of people that are going to be leaving the fairgrounds, and they're ready for that next step, and they don't want them back on the street because they've gotten clean, they're getting their social services, so they're trying to get them into that next step.
Every single person there needs to be housed. Like that, what a freaking shame it would be to shuffle all those 135 souls out into the night and be like, okay, later. I mean, that can't happen, you know. But guess what? The funding is going to dry up soon. We're going to have to figure out a way, not nationally, to do it. Am I talking too much? So I'm just saying, okay, sorry.
I just want to throw in my 2 cents worth on that.
Thank you, Margaret.
It's one thing to consider is the more specific, I think, the better. I know that the neighbors out by Peterson Barn were a little upset when they found out that that camp was going up at Peterson Barn, and it turned out to be a really positive thing. And I think, you know, people were screened. They have a real plan, and I think that might help neighbors if they knew exactly what the plan, how they were going to be screened, you know, that sort of thing. So it's just not an open, you know, whoever shows up type of thing.
I would say that my response about the Conestoga situation is very different than tent camping and car camping, because I know that from connections that I have with people that work with the one that's out on Hilliard Street and also at the Unitarian Church, that's a very different, that's a much more controlled, it feels more controlled and it feels more permanent, and it feels safer. I as a neighbor, I feel very differently about that.
And that's our minimum. That's what I'm saying is our minimum is Conestogas. There is no car camping. There is no tent camping. And I'm sorry that might cut a lot of people off, but that's not what we're looking for.
Yeah.
We have a lot of experience in this. You know, you as a neighbor have a lot of experience in this also. We do running a parking lot for so many years, and we want semi-permanent to permanent housing to create more of a neighborhood type of event for people that are already here. You know, they're already our neighbors. Let's find a place for them to at least not have, thank you very much, the insecurity of having to move like again and again and again. Not having a place to take a poop. And, you know, our housing that we're proposing is also pretty bold because it requires everything that you need to live. You know, like other than going through the social services and providing a monthly income, a place to cook, a place to go to the bathroom, a way to wash your clothes, like stop. Like it really does. So Susan, we don't want to advocate a transient housing here. You know, the mission is large enough. It really is. And right now the mission is shrunk dramatically. And it's a weird vibe on 3rd. Right now, there's far less people that used to traverse here because they're not having 3 meals a day. They're not housing quite as many people. So it's a really different feel. So it would be cool to find a way to bring at least, I don't know how many people we're going to be able to get, you know, housed, but it is semi-permanent housing.
Yes. And it's very different. It's very different. I know that acquaintance of mine works with the people out on Hilliard, and people do move on. They do find stability and move on. It's a really good system, I think.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I'm trying to reach out to Cheryl too, from the mission, is they already have a model for case management, or they have a model for people that are looking for transient or transitional housing. It would be cool to be able to work with people, even though they're a religious-based organization, that are already in the neighborhood, that have already invented this wheel, you know?
Yeah.
Because they also have more of their fingers on the pulse of the people who are trying to further themselves. And it's not like we're going to house families right now, but in the future, it would be awesome if we could. It would be awesome if we could afford a monthly rent to put at least one family up. You know, I mean, I think that's how we have to start, you know. But okay, and I'll stop. Annika's telling me I'm droning on.
Okay.
I do have, does anyone else have any? Stephen, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Does anybody know how the Conestoga Hut community at the intersection of River Road and Northwest is doing, the one by the railroad track?
I think that's the veterans. Margaret, do you know anything? Is that the veterans?
No, that's Opportunity Village.
That's Opportunity.
The Conestoga is our Opportunity Village.
Huh, okay.
Who runs that?
Aren't they a board of directors?
Oh, I see.
Pastor Dan Bryant.
Dan Bryant.
The same person who runs the one at the end of Polk Street.
Thank you, Thea.
Thank you.
So I have one more thing to say before we're done.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want you to think, so I'm not opposed to living in a tent or sleeping in a car in a place that is more structured. I don't know, you know, I've said before, I lived in Phoenix in my 20s with my ex and a kid in a car in a place called Tent City. Every day we got a meal, there were showers, they had, much like what they're talking about doing the resource center down here, they helped you make a resume, get clothing, you know, they just helped you get on track and you had a safe place to sleep at night. But it was clean, sober, you know, the cops went through there and it was somewhat like the mission, except for everybody was outside and there were a lot of people there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think they tried to do something like that downtown not too long ago. Oh, I don't know, maybe it was 5 years ago. Time goes by pretty fast. But where they had knocked that building down and they wanted to take a city block and make it so that they could make so the homeless could sleep outside and in their cars. And then the business owners downtown said, no, and it just got voted out or whatever it was.
No, you know what? That's a really good thing to bring up right now. What actually happened is the business owners had no idea, just like maybe what we're proposing, of what's going on. And then they wrote a letter and it was picked up and a lot of people were against that, thinking that they were not for them. We actually, as the community council, went to those meetings with the Chamber of Commerce because they wanted a little input. And it was a really, really good exchange, because I think maybe that shows us what happens when you don't talk to the parties that are directly affected with the decisions that you're proposing, such as homeless camps, you know, or Conestoga huts. So funny you should mention that, Margaret. That is, yeah, I was there. I was at those meetings. That's
me. I lived in one. I mean, I know.
And we're not opposed to that. See, that's the thing is,
it just has to be structured.
But the other thing is, I want to start somewhere. You know, I see what tent camping does, and I see what's going on in my neighborhood. You know, we're going to help some people. We can't help everyone. You know, we're not going to disenfranchise people, because we're going to hopefully provide services for those people if they want to accept them to go to. You know, it's not like we're trying to be like, not in my backyard, can't ever do this here. You know, if this is your only alternative, let us try to help you. You know, we're not going to be able to put everybody in a Conestoga hut, but we're also not going to be able to let you live in a tent where there's no services, where potentially you could become this vector and you could harm our neighborhood. I want to help you. And if you don't accept these services, I'd like to call on law enforcement to be able to not allow you to continue to harm my neighborhood. So I want to phrase these things in a way where we're not trying to disenfranchise anyone, especially if we're just trying to put them in Conestoga huts. You know, we want to be able to provide services, but we can't house everyone. So does anyone have anything else on that? I have a couple updates that Ian, who's not here with us tonight.
Are we going to see the other letter?
This is the second letter that's up right now.
Oh yeah,
oh, it is?
no.
Oh, okay, I see. Sorry, I
It's
had
very
to.
similar and it's very long. And
They were screaming outside like a normal night, so I had to go look, make sure.
My dogs were barking like crazy down there.
Oh no, I don't
think
know
someone
if
was
you've
here,
been to
but-
4th and Monroe lately, but it's
Oh yeah.
those apartments down there are getting crazy.
Yeah, and you know, that's the other thing I think we have to realize too, as we're living in a neighborhood where a lot of people probably have been out of work and don't have any money. It becomes a little bit more desperate, and tempers do get frayed. I've noticed that having to be more conscious and how can I say it, mindful, like in all my actions, has proven to be super beneficial, because a lot of people are fucking going through some shit and hating it. Drew?
This is off topic, but before we go,
Oh, that's
I have
fine.
a question. Did we lose the yoga studio in the church?
Oh, God, we did. We did. And, you know, out of no fault of their own or no, they were, there's a letter. We can send you the letter. It's brutal, man. It's fucking brutal. They have no income. He's a realtor. Obviously, she can't practice because she's a body worker, you know, and so they were probably unable to fulfill their obligations for the loan, is what I'm thinking. You know, because you have to have a job. You can't be out of work and your loan. So, yes. So, along those lines, Drew, just in case anyone was wondering what we're talking about, at the end of 3rd and Monroe?
Third and Monroe. 3rd and Madison.
3rd and Madison.
No, it's on Monroe.
Is it
3rd
Monroe?
Yeah,
3rd Monroe. It's the Tabernacle, the church that was on the corner forever. It's still there. These people were trying to put a yoga studio and a community center in this building. We had given them our blessings because it would have been required for them to provide something for the community, such as a place for us to have meetings, a place for us to have events, or like they were really wanting to work with us. And I mean, that church is huge. The realtor came to our meetings and explained to us that out of all the offers that they had gotten, she felt the best with this one, and that it would have benefited our community like exponentially. The realtor came to the meeting to say this. We felt, or at least I did. Drew, you were there also at some of the meetings.
It was definitely a collaborative effort. It would have been a very welcomed business from my perspective.
Me too. They were a really cool couple, and so yeah.
It's sad.
That also comes back to who knows what's going to end up happening in that place. But
well, and I mean, we're on the verge of a possible recession, so who knows? It may sit there until they get their feet back. You just don't know.
Yeah, or I don't know. Someone Yeah, it's a great opportunity. And it was awesome that they were going to undertake it. So, but oh well.
Can I take this down now? Has everyone read it?
Yes.
Did everyone want to take a copy? Is there a way to link it in there?
Ian said he put it on the board webpage or something. So.
Oh, okay.
Stuff so I can,
Thanks.
right there.
There's a lot to read.
Yes.
You can. So, unless anyone has anything else, I have a couple of updates that Ian had given me. One is in regards to Dubcat. Is that okay? Everyone?
Go.
Okay. Dubcat submitted a proposal to Lane Arts Council for a 2020 Community Arts Grant. They're asking for $1,955 for temporary art installation, visual artist studio tours, and online workshops. They'll hear back by mid-July. Oh, I'm sorry, mid-June. The City of Eugene Cultural Services Sunday Slow Roll program, weekly DJ through the neighborhood, coming to the
Yeah, so they're doing this in
Yeah.
all the neighborhoods. The slow roll, where they're like rolling through the neighborhoods with music, and then I think people are like going outside on their porches and like dancing and singing along or whatever. And they have it scheduled on their website to go through.
Sunday, May 31st.
Yeah.
But it
I
says
went to the one I went to the friendly neighborhood and rode around on my bike behind it. It was very fun.
Yay!
It was actually one of the funnest things I've had happen in the last 2 months.
nice.
So
All right, so
I recommend it highly.
okay, well, I think like it or not,
Happening.
it's happening. No, they're working on the route, and they want to know what streets they're interested in cruising. Smoothest, least obstructed. So if someone has anything, invite Slow Roll representative to Wednesday, May 20th meeting. Okay, I think we can do that. That'd be cool.
Cool.
That's next week.
That is next week. So just in case everyone's wondering, or even if you're not wondering, we have a meeting every week. We do this from 7 to 9. Sometimes it doesn't go to 9.
Usually it doesn't.
We try to get you out here at 8. I'm talking way too much tonight, so forgive me. But it's not just the community council meeting. It's a neighborhood meeting. And it's open to anyone. And if you have people that you think that would benefit from at least communicating with other people in this format, we're here from 7 to 9, potentially, every Wednesday. But back to what I was saying. There is this thing called the Reflections Program. Dubcat, which is the Whitaker Community Arts Council or Arts Team, has been invited to be a part of Reflections Space Eugene. Do you want to finish reading?
So a series of 5 art expositions hosted by small teams of visual artists and staggered over about 6 months beginning in July or August. These exhibitions would emphasize providing space for our city's public reflections in isolation, loss, hope, adaptation, and experiences during this time of crisis. Oh,
Too dark.
Too dark. I like the light blinding everybody. This idea of space includes physical, visual, psychological, or time physical elements of any take place. So the rest of this talks about sort of the nuts and bolts of this, so I'm not going to read it.
But what we'll do is I'll put this update on the
open or
the text
page.
No, can you just put it in the text right here?
Sure.
Can you put the whole file in there?
I don't want to do the whole file.
Well, I just thought instead of us reading this back to you, I would like to give you the update because.
Well, I can do the whole file, but it makes more sense for us to just read it right now. On my page. We have a difference of opinion, obviously.
What?
Well, it is also 8 o'clock. So like I said,
Yes.
I'm trying to get everyone can read this.
And
If you could, for me, if you could put it someplace online that I
Yeah.
can access it and read it later, that would be great.
Okay.
here, how about
Trying
this?
to
How did
read-
you guys
trying-
all hear about this meeting tonight? Did you see the event page or did you
Facebook.
Facebook?
It entered my mind that I hadn't been to a meeting in a while, and I started looking for the
Okay.
meeting.
Because we have there's a Facebook event that the WCC on Facebook has, and that would probably be the easiest just to post it in there. So if you search for Whitaker Community Council,
And the reason that we're trying to keep it just within the Whitaker Community Council page is that the Whitaker
Yeah.
Community open page is a little too open, you know,
Crazy.
and
Yeah. Get
so,
it.
but we can make sure all of this information is in the files of the Whitaker Community Council page, correct? Okay.
Great.
So it'll be in the files though. And same as all of, ooh, actually, we didn't put this on YouTube, so
No.
you should have taken minutes.
it's recording. though.
Okay, so what we're doing is we're not taking, I didn't mean to call out a cow, but we're not taking minutes since we're recording these meetings. We want all of this to be open to the public. We're putting it on YouTube, so just in case. But did you post that?
Can you
Okay.
recording from Zoom and post it on YouTube?
Yeah, we probably could.
Yeah, we probably could.
We just want to allow more people to understand what we're talking about, you know? Anyway.
Is there a contact person that you can give me for the artist group? I would like to have that.
Yeah, it's Ian, and we'll send it to you. So Annika's going to put the updates that Ian had put for the meeting.
I'll put it.
Okay.
I'll update it at the end of this meeting, so I'm not trying to do two things at once.
I didn't hear what you said. What?
Oh, I said I'll update it at the end of this meeting. I'll put that
On the council page?
on our Facebook.
Okay,
page.
great. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and I figured instead of us reading that all back to you, we would allow you. Then everyone has access. Andrew, do you have access to the community council page?
Wait, when you say council page, do you mean the neighborhood page?
No.
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 Director's page.
Because most of these people don't have access to the board of directors page.
No. Just our community council page.
Oh, I don't even know where that is.
Here,
Which is-
you know what I can do?
It's public, right? Isn't the council page public?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, and I believe it's all already on there. I believe that Ian posted it all already.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool.
I may be wrong, but I think it's.
And Andrew Martin, I'm sorry for calling you out. I was just wondering if you had access to any of this info, if you needed it.
Do you mean the Facebook page or the Whitaker Community Council web?
Community council page.
Here, wait. I'm posting.
I guess I don't know what. I'll
The
say
council
no.
Facebook page.
Yeah, because we
Okay,
have
I-
the Whitaker Neighbors Open page, which is more of a general.
I just posted it in
doesn't-
the chat.
Okay.
Anybody that's confused, I did it just to Steven. Never mind. Sorry, Steven, I just posted it to you. Not just to Zoom.
So, just in case everyone's wondering, what we're trying to do is the Whitaker Neighbors Open page is the unofficial Whitaker page, but it is not inclusive for the people that are the Whitaker Community Council members, such as the people that live, work, or own. That is the Whitaker Community Council page that we try to post all of these things on, and we'll definitely have the files in there, just in case you're looking for them. One of the reasons is the Whitaker Neighbors Open page, it got a little too big. So all of the information, like such as the Zoom details, and I was hoping we would keep them off there, and maybe try to steer people towards the community council page, because with Zoom, I don't want to dilute our conversations with, I don't know, maybe things that don't have anything to do with our neighborhood.
Maybe
I
I'm
didn't,
sorry.
I didn't realize there was a separate page until
I didn't
today.
Yeah.
This totally went by me. So maybe we could at least make a reference on the neighborhood page to the council page.
Yes, I agree,
Otherwise, when we
100%.
announce our meetings, nobody knows.
Yes, Katie,
Okay, thanks.
that's awesome. And, I don't know why it's taken us this long to think about that. I'm sorry, Susan.
It's okay. I
I
just got it. I finally got it.
No, but yeah, and I think right now could you get rid of this box? Right now it makes like so much more sense to try to bring more people in. And that's the other thing too, like with not everyone having access to Wi-Fi, or
Yeah.
a computer. What are the other things that we need to do? We have Next Step. Excuse me. We have Next Step in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
What if we try to get people hooked up with some form of device that gets them on the internet? I mean,
That's a really good idea, because, yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, if we have a need and we have a kind of an infrastructure challenge with people not having phones, what if we could provide them with some form of resource or a place to do that?
Yeah.
I
Great idea.
what would be kind of cool is, and I'm not going to throw them under the bus, but I'd like to talk to either, what's the coffee shop next to Taco Bar, Steve's place?
The Glass House.
Glass House, or a cone at Equiana. Thank you. It would be kind of cool if we could find a way maybe to provide some resource in that area. I don't know if these are some of our, coffee houses are a backbone of, I guess, democracy next to, ale houses or places that people get wasted at. These are the places that people exchange ideas, and I don't know, having a way for maybe disenfranchised people who don't have access to the infrastructure to get on the internet, providing that, and then having some free Wi-Fi, which I know is kind of a way back to the original part of our conversation with the fiber, which I'm really sorry. I probably should have checked in with Danny Kime a couple more times. And it might be my fault. So please forgive me about him not being here about that conversation.
There is a new coffee house, by where Whitaker Tattoo used to be. And they seem to be a little bit more
it's called
just by
Roots.
looking at their
Space. Yes.
windows. They
Yes,
seem
he
to
brought
be a little
coffee to
more
our
hip.
meetings too.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yes. I'm. Oh my God. Maybe
he would be the guy to hit up about having internet.
also because they're probably having a really tough time getting customers. Shit, that'd be, hell yeah. Okay.
Right.
I will reach out.
And he wants to be part of what's happening. So there you go.
Yes. All right. Well, unless anyone has anything else, Annika's leaving. Bye, Annika. Would anyone have anything else to say? I'm not putting you all on the spot, but I am right now.
I think it's great, Chris, that that you want to focus on homelessness and do all of that, and there has to be a way to do it without putting the cart before the horse.
No,
and there has to be a way to do it, to do car camping and tent and all of that. There's so much empty space around here.
What about
large
that church
spaces
on First?
Well,
Chambers.
on First and Chambers.
Right over there.
You remember that guy came to our meeting that lives on the other side, and he said that they have a big lot over there that they want to provide tent camping and car camping for people. He was at the meeting, what, a month ago, 2 months ago, had a, I mean, you know, there's an opportunity right there, and we don't even
Yeah.
look at that.
I
And he
just,
lives
my thing is,
there.
I don't want
He's
it in the
that
neighborhood. I want to provide semi-permanent to permanent housing. Like
Right, but I'm talking about
sanitary housing.
transitional.
I agree. And with that, to tell you the truth, Margaret, we need a partner, someone, because we can't reinvent a model that's already working somewhere else. Like, but I'll be honest with you.
It's not working. Just go sit in my front yard.
Dude, and also the car camping is not working. When you provide a place for people to car camp and a porta potty, where are they going to shower? Where are they going to cook their food? And where are they going to wash their clothes? All of those things need to be taken into account before
They need
you
someone to
provide
help them
that
with a
sort of
job,
housing.
with a resume, you know? They need somebody to take them to Goodwill and buy them some clothing that's for a
Maybe
for
we need a
interview.
new subcommittee that's going to get some money to do this, because I would love to find a way to pay somebody to do this for 3 people in our neighborhood. 3. That's it. Let's start with 3. You know, sanitary housing.
What
All those
about
things.
partnering with the group, like another group that's already doing it, like
Community
partnering?
supported shelters. Yeah.
What about partnering with them?
Oh yeah, and that's what we're down for. And we're not trying to redo or look at their model. We want them to come in and do this. That's why I'm saying, like, we're identifying these locations. We want to bring someone in that has all the infrastructure, or they at least have the know-how, the plans. We provide the businesses giving 50. We want to partner with somebody like that. We don't want to go in and start building these houses. But if it were to save us some money, I would like everyone to show up and build these Conestoga huts one Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon, you know. But something like that, you know. But yeah, you're exactly right. We will partner with everyone, you know, because I mean, shit, look at us. We're regular human beings, you know. We don't have all, but we have these connections with all these people in town who already do these things. And I don't know.
Okay.
Forgive me if I've been talking too much. I've been really excited to see everyone tonight on this meeting. I'm really sorry we can't see each other in public or have beverages at any of our local establishments. And Susan, thank you so much for all of your starts, and that's been wonderful. I don't want to keep anyone else. Thank you so much for your time. Drew White, so good to see you. Andrew Martin, thank you for coming to this meeting. I don't know if we've met in person, but I'm really thankful that you came here tonight. Thank you very much.
Yeah, great to meet everybody.
Cheers. Chrissy, Susan, Margaret, Jane.
Cheers.
Thank you for
Thank you.
Hey, Margaret.
Hi.
Margaret, how do I talk to you about something that's not at the meeting?
Give me a call. I'll be at my desk at 7 in the morning.
Okay, I don't think I have your card still.
Katie, thank you.
Do you have a piece of paper? I'll give you my phone number.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm actually sitting at
Have
my
a
desk
good night,
right
everybody.
now.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you,
Working from
everyone.
home, so yes, please.
It's 541-682-5761.
Thank you. I could use your help. We're having some problems, and you are exactly who can help us. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
I should be in there till about 8 o'clock or so, 7 to 8.
And I can leave you a message if you're not there.
Yeah, just leave me a message. That'd be great, and I can call you back.
Okay, that will be great.
All right, take care.
So everybody's gone.
Oh,
so
here.
Good. Well, that's okay. You're fine. I don't. So Margaret, we're having some problems on my street, and for instance, 8 people called the police the other day, 8 different residences, and I called them twice, and the lady hung up on me on the phone, the 911 dispatcher. as there is a woman going through everyone's garbage, throwing it in the middle of the street, breaking bottles.
Oh my God, Margaret, she was at my house. She turned everything in my salon upside down. I went outside. My dogs are freaking out. I fucking squirted her from head to toe with a garden hose.
Oh.
She was yelling at me and was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I was like, lady, leave right now.
I thought she was gonna hit me. I thought she was gonna hit me. She
It's the
was
same lady. Oh my God.
Yeah.
She broke the bottles in my salon and everything.
Yeah, she was emptying garbage, throwing it in the middle of the street.
She dumped all my garbage out.
And she was picking it up, talking about how that was her food and her clothing. But so I called 911 once, and everyone else, all the neighbors had called. Everyone else in the neighborhood had called. And so the 911 operator, I'm standing there, and she is in my face screaming at me as I'm standing on a piece of garbage by the dumpster, telling her to get away. And the 911 operator is asking me, so where is she? I'm like, can you hear her? And I just turned my phone, and she told me, you know, she hung up on me basically. And I called back, and she told me, she's like, just go inside. I don't know if it was the same one. I'm like, I can't go inside. She's coming into my yard and going into other people's yards and going through their things and throwing them in the street. Well, you just need to go inside. I need to go inside and let her just throw everything that everybody lives here. And it took 5 hours.
For someone to
5
show
hours for the police to come.
Okay. I don't know about, you know, that is a call that we can certainly pull up and look at how that was handled.
I just want to know what we need to do to change that, because it's happened more than once. My neighbor next door called the police at 3 a.m. in the morning. They didn't show up for 2 days.
Yeah,
I mean, they are not responding. And
you know what I think? I think what might be a good idea is maybe have one of the dispatchers come and talk at one of our meetings, or, you know, include her in one of the meetings.
Okay.
And what happens oftentimes is call load and what's going on. And sometimes what is being said to the dispatcher about the urgency of the situation. And I don't know what happened, but one thing that we can do is pull that call up, and a supervisor can review that call.
Well, I don't want to make a formal, I don't want to make a formal complaint. Okay. I don't want to do that.
Thank you, Margaret, for not doing this in our general meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, we're not trying to fucking.
But I'm not the only one. I see it on the I see it on the Whitaker page all the time, Margaret.
And I'm not trying to do it online either. You know, I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to.
People are calling the police and they're not coming.
But Margaret, you are an awesome liaison for us, and like you of all people, like I have tried to rethink like the way that I want to work with our city. You know, I don't want to call them down in front of everyone. I don't want to like be an adversarial type of entity. I want to work like productively with our law enforcement. You know, and I'll just be honest. I look at them like the mob. You know, like they're kind of like the mob. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to be like.
Oh no, I hear what you're saying. Go ahead.
You know, you don't.
I have more respect for them than that.
Margaret,
have you seen the new video that the city put out? It's made by the city of Eugene.
Yeah.
And the video is all Eugene police officers driving around in downtown, and they don't have any calls. And they're all talking about how there's nobody on the street. And they're in Kenkese Square. They're down by the old Starbucks. And I mean, this video is like a 5-minute video. There's no traffic going up and down the street.
Oh,
and
dude, the Whitaker is just awesome.
The other day.
I love it.
I'm watching this the other day, and I'm thinking, you bastards, but you can't come to my house for 5 hours, and every neighbor on the street has called you.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, that concerns me, you know, because that's not okay. And so
It
would
happens
you
all
be
the time. If you
okay?
if you watch the Whitaker Facebook page, the people that
Yeah.
live on Jefferson over by the
Mm-hmm.
park, I mean, they
Yeah.
have major problems over there, and they're always saying that they call the police and nobody shows up, or they show up 2 days later.
Well, and to be fair, lots of times it depends what the call is, and the resources we have at the time. But if we have that many neighbors calling and we have somebody, causing that kind of a ruckus and people feeling threatened, somebody should have been. So,
well, and
my concern,
Margaret,
I want to be able to communicate that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, that lady that was probably at Margaret's house, she probably came to my house afterwards because it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, she was arrested.
Oh, she was.
Okay.
Yeah, they came because she wouldn't leave. She wouldn't leave. The one guy across the street kept taking the garbage and throwing it back in the trash. He's a younger kid, and I think he was kind of having fun with it.
So Margaret, it was a younger woman.
No, I would say that this one, she was probably
30,
in her 30s
40?
or 40s. Yeah.
So
I didn't call the police on her. Like,
Okay.
I just told her to leave.
Okay. But she did get arrested, so.
I believe that she did, yes.
Okay,
Finally.
but it took 5 hours.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So would you be comfortable with me having them pull up the call, though? I mean, I think it could be a training thing for our folks.
But I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to get anyone. I don't want to put anyone in a bad situation.
Okay, it's not about that. Let me talk to the
when the dispatcher hung up on me, I about shit my pants.
Oh, well, that shouldn't have happened.
It pissed me off.
Would there be a way for Margaret to do it anonymously, just so that adverse repercussions could never happen?
That's not it. I don't want. They are a super high stress job. I would not want to be a 911 operator.
It's true, but
let me. Would you feel comfortable if I just talk to the supervisor, Margaret? I won't say your name. I'll just say the situation.
Sure.
What day was that?
It was I don't think it was last Saturday. I think it was the Saturday or Sunday before.
Okay. I'll talk to a supervisor and just say, hey, people say it's a pattern. Chris, if you're comfortable, maybe at the next Zoom meeting, we could have a supervisor from dispatch just come and talk about reporting calls to dispatch and doing that sort of thing.
Please.
That would be a great thing.
That would be awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, so call me or let's get in touch, Chris, in between baking sourdough, and I'll get that done.
All right.
Chris gave me sourdough, Margaret. That's what was the reference. So.
Oh, he gave you a start?
Why, do you want one, Margaret?
I do.
All right,
I had a friend
for you.
You're the king.
All right. I'll give you some eggs and some kimchi too.
Oh yeah, I'm living the dream, and a plant.
And
I haven't killed yet.
And a plant. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate y'all.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Margaret,
all
for
right,
taking
bye,
the
y'all.
time.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, I think I'm still recording, so I just want to say some things. I am so thankful I'm able to live in this neighborhood. The people that I interact with that create the environment that I live in are so absolutely wonderful. I, after these meetings, become emotional or hyper, but it's only because I am so thankful I can be here. And I am so fucking thankful I have all these people in this neighborhood to rely on, or to back me up, or to tell me
keep me in check. But I just want to say, I love my fucking neighborhood. I really do.